he has been biking around the world to break the Guinness World Record of the oldest person to bike around the world. And we have him here in Washington, D.C. for one of his last stops. Welcome.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you very much, Cristina.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. Where did it start? How long has it been going for? What is the mission?
Okay, well, I started on the day I retired, June the 30th last year. And I've been going since. So it's almost 9 months. And I cycled all the way through Europe, to Western Europe, into Eastern Europe, to the Balkans, the old Soviet Union, and then into India, Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and now I've just crossed the United States.
Wow, and you started in June. How many miles or kilometers has this been?
I'm almost at the very end, you see. So I've cycled, to break the Guinness record, you have to cycle 18,000 kilometers. I've done 17,850, so I've only another 150 or so to do. I've fairly much completed the required distance.
Wowzers.
Please
Tell me about an average day in your life as a bicycle Guinness World Record
breaker. There's no such thing really, because it depends entirely on where you are, depends on the weather, depends on so many different things. But essentially it's dawn to dusk cycling. In order to do this, to cycle 100 miles a day, you got to keep going pretty much all day. So it's up in the morning, have some breakfast, get cycling, and keep cycling until it gets dark. That's the way it works. Take a few little breaks, take 2 small breaks during the day for some food and some rest.
Nice. Well, my priority in life is food, so tell me about your food. What do you normally eat for breakfast?
Well, you see, again, it depends entirely on how I'm feeling, and it also depends on where I am, because every country there's a different regime, every country there's different food available. In an ideal world, I could choose. I could decide which food I'd want, and I'd cook it myself. That's the way I like to do it at home. But when I'm on this journey, I'm an omnivore. I eat what I can, I eat what's available. So it depends on any particular country.
Okay, so tell me about an average breakfast you had when you were cycling through Texas.
Oh, Texas! Don't talk to me. Texas is one of the more interesting ones, one of the difficult ones, really, in terms of getting nutrition, because it's really to do with the availability of fast food. Because in Texas and lots of the southern states, there are so many fast food restaurants, and the food is so cheap, it's so tasty, it's so freely available that that's what I do every morning. I wake up and I go into McDonald's or Burger King and I get 2 breakfast burritos. That's how I start my morning, with usually several cups of coffee.
Nice. So how many calories are you aiming to eat per day so you can keep up with this?
Yeah, I need in fact to keep sustenance and to keep my body in condition. I need about 8,000, which is kind of, I'm guessing it's 3 times, sometimes maybe 4 times what most people would be eating. So it's a lot of food.
Wow. Yes, indeed. So tell me about your body changes since you started this journey. How has everything been impacted?
Well, I've lost a lot of weight. I started off, I was a chubby guy when I started. In kilos, I was 90 kilos. I can convert that to pounds. And I'm 75 now. So I've lost 15 kilos, which I'm guessing is 30 pounds in weight. And I'm a lot more flexible, a lot fitter. My physique has changed dramatically in terms of my frame and my weight.
Absolutely. So that's your breakfast, 2 breakfast burritos at McDonald's.
Yeah.
What happens for lunch?
I would often lunch. I often, it depends on what my body feels it needs, but I would often go into a supermarket and buy chicken and eat all the chicken. Or I would get, because I need a lot of protein to replace, and carbohydrates. I would, buy some rice and eat some rice, or I might just get some fries, some French fries. Depends on what's available. But I would eat a lot of whatever is available.
So lunch was your biggest meal?
No, dinner's my biggest meal. No, don't forget I'm burning 8,000 calories.
Absolutely.
So in the evening, I try to get a proper meal, as in I sit down. Oftentimes, when I've got time, and certainly if the evenings are long, I'll cook for myself at a campfire, and I've done that quite a lot. Certainly in Europe, when the evenings were lovely and long, and it didn't get dark until 10. And then I would just go and get meat and get vegetables and cook them up. But most times, because it's dark and it's cold, here for example, I'm going into a restaurant and eating whatever is available. And if there's a good restaurant in the town, if it's a Mexican restaurant or a nice restaurant with good food, I'll go in there and I'll eat a proper meal and have a few beers. I drink quite a lot of beer because there's a lot of nutrition in the beer, and some days it's very hard to actually eat 8,000 calories. So I'll try to drink a lot of beer because the calories are in there.
Nice. And have you been camping most of this trip? Or?
Yeah, I would think 85-90% of the time I'm camping. Camping is my preferred mode of accommodation because I can camp wherever I want. I'm restricted to go to people's houses and finding places. It's nice to have a rest and to have a shower, and it's great to have great hospitality. But camping is what I've been doing, and it's the way I like to do it.
Nice. So one of your missions is to raise awareness about global warming, and you're now in Washington, D.C. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going to happen here in regards to global warming?
Okay. Well, my trip has, got many facets, and one aspect is that I want to raise awareness for the United Nations Global Goals for Sustainable Development. And I've been doing that in various means all the way through since I started the project. But when I was in New Orleans, I got invited up to Washington because the Irish Prime Minister is here for St. Patrick's Day, and a petition was started by a pupil in my school in relation to climate change, and I'm going to do my best to present that petition to the White House tomorrow.
To the White House tomorrow?
Yes, that's it.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive. Well, I wish you the very best of luck presenting to the White House.
Yes.
And what is after Washington, D.C.?
I'm off to New York then, briefly. I have a couple of days there. I'm going to be spreading my message. That's not terribly far, a couple of 100 kilometres. And then I'll rest there for a couple of days. And then I'm flying there to Lisbon in Portugal. And a group of 25 cyclists, mostly friends, are joining me then to cycle from Lisbon to Madrid. And that's the end of the trip, more or less, around Easter Sunday. And then I fly back to Dublin a couple of days later, and I'm finishing live on RTE Irish TV on the 6th of April.
Wow, that's amazing.
There you are.
You have a beautiful beard with all the rainbow braids, and I understand we're looking for a hairdresser who can pimp them up.
This beard, I'm liking it, and it's fun to have it, and it's all about diversity. It's about ethnic diversity, cultural diversity, religious diversity, all kinds of different diversities. And when I got it done in the beginning, it covered my whole face, and my beard has grown and lots of them have fallen out. So I'd really like to get a braider who could rebraid my beard back to the way it was.
With all the rainbow colors.
Gotta have all the colors.
Okay, so everyone in DC who knows a good colorist who can do rainbow beards, please hit us up in the next couple of days, today or tomorrow.
That's it.
Other than that, we are really happy to have you in DC. And can we talk a little bit about your bicycle?
Yes, of course. This is Carolina. Yeah, Carolina's a aluminium framed bicycle. She's pretty strong. It's got these butterfly handlebars that allow me to change my positions. I got a sprung saddle, which is great. It allows me to carry about 15 kilos worth of gear, and it's a really strong bicycle. I haven't had one single puncture since I started this trip. Yeah, not one puncture. I'm using these amazing tires. They're called Marathon Schwalbe. Marathon Schwalbe Plus tires. They're amazing. Not a single puncture. Nearly 18,000 miles.
And I hear Guinness doesn't let you change bicycles.
No, you gotta have the same bicycle. If your bicycle is damaged, you gotta repair it yourself. If your bicycle is stolen, the record is over.
Wow, Dermot, thank you so much for this inspiring interview. And if you had one message for everyone regarding global warming, what would that be?
Well, I used to think that, one person couldn't do anything, that we were kind of powerless. And I firmly believe now that I've achieved a lot in this. And you don't have to do much. One small person, now's the time to act. It's really important. It's a critical time in the history of the world and the future of the world. And now's the time to act. And we can all act now. Everybody can do something to change the world.
Thank you so much. This has been really awesome and really fun.
Been a pleasure. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Sure will.